Have you ever felt trapped by your own emotions, clinging to things, people, or expectations that no longer serve you? In our fast-paced world, we often believe that holding on is a sign of strength. But what if true strength lies in letting go? Buddhism teaches us that real peace comes not from control but from acceptance. Detachment is not about becoming cold or indifferent, it's about finding the freedom to live fully in the present. Imagine carrying a heavy bag filled with regrets, fears, and expectations. The more you hold on to it, the heavier it feels. But the moment you release it, you feel lighter, free to move forward with ease. Life is constantly changing. Everything we experience, happiness, sorrow, success, failure, is temporary. Yet, we suffer because we resist change, desperately trying to hold on to what feels comfortable. Detachment doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we learn to love without attachment, to enjoy without fearing loss, and to trust that what is meant for us will stay, while what is not will naturally fade away. In this journey, we will explore how letting go leads to true liberation. Through ancient Buddhist wisdom, parables, and practical steps, we will discover how to free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. By embracing impermanence, we open ourselves to deeper joy, clarity, and resilience. If you've ever struggled with attachment, whether to relationships, material possessions, or personal expectations, this video is for you. Together, we will learn how to cultivate a mindset of peace, allowing life to flow naturally, without resistance. Let's begin this journey into the power of detachment. Impermanence and the art of letting go. There is a story about the Buddha that teaches us a profound lesson on letting go. One day, a grieving man came to the Buddha, overwhelmed by the pain of losing a loved one. He asked, "Lord Buddha, how can I stop suffering when I lose the people who matter most to me?" The Buddha looked at him with deep compassion and gently asked, "If you hold a handful of sand in your palm and squeeze it tightly, what happens?" The man replied, "The tighter I squeeze, the more the sand slips through my fingers." The Buddha smiled and said, "Exactly. Life is the same way. The more you try to hold on, the more you feel like you're losing. But if you relax your grip and accept that everything changes, you will no longer suffer." This story reflects one of the core teachings of Buddhism: everything is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever, whether it's people, possessions, or emotions. Much of our suffering comes from resisting this truth. We cling to what is familiar, fearing loss, but in reality, everything is constantly changing. Think about your own life. Is there something you once tried to hold on to but eventually had to let go of? Maybe it was a relationship, a job, or even a dream that didn't come true. When we truly understand impermanence, we learn to live more lightly, appreciate the present moment, and free ourselves from the fear of loss. The Buddha taught that letting go doesn't mean not caring, it means appreciating things while they are with us and accepting their departure with peace. Just like a river that flows without clinging to any stone, we too can learn to move with the natural flow of life. So, is there something in your life that you're holding onto too tightly? Maybe it's time to loosen your grip and allow things to unfold naturally. Radical acceptance, finding peace in the flow of life. One day, a man came to the Buddha, frustrated and exhausted. He said, "Master, life is full of struggles. No matter how hard I try, I can't control everything. People disappoint me, things don't go as planned, and I always feel like I'm fighting against the current." The Buddha listened patiently and then asked, "Have you ever seen a person trying to swim against the waves of the ocean?" The man nodded. The Buddha continued, "What happens when they fight the waves? They get tired. They struggle, and eventually, they sink." The Buddha smiled. "Exactly. But what if they stop resisting and instead move with the waves? Then, they float." The Buddha gently explained, "Life is like the ocean. It has calm days and stormy days. When you resist reality, when you wish things were different than they are, you suffer. But when you accept what is, instead of fighting it, you find peace." This is the essence of radical acceptance, fully embracing life as it is, without resistance. Many of our struggles come not from the situation itself, but from our refusal to accept it. We say, "This shouldn't be happening," or "Life isn't fair." But reality is what it is, whether we accept it or not. Acceptance doesn't mean we approve of everything or stop trying to improve our lives. It simply means we stop fighting the truth of the present moment. This clarity allows us to make better decisions and grow instead of getting stuck in frustration. Imagine a difficult situation in your own life. Are you resisting reality, or are you learning to flow with it? Letting go of resistance doesn't mean giving up, it means choosing peace over struggle. The wisdom of fate, trusting life's natural flow. One day, a young man came to the Buddha, troubled by the ups and downs of life. He asked, "Master, why do bad things happen to good people? How can we know if something is truly good or bad?" The Buddha smiled and told him a story. In a small village, there was a wise old man with a strong, beautiful horse. One day, the horse ran away. The villagers came to console him, saying, "What bad luck." But the old man simply replied, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" A week later, the horse returned, bringing with it a group of wild horses. The villagers exclaimed, "How wonderful! Now you are rich with horses." Again, the old man calmly said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" Soon after, the man's son tried to ride one of the wild horses, but he fell and broke his leg. The villagers sighed, "What a terrible misfortune." But the old man only said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" A few weeks later, soldiers arrived at the village to recruit young men for war. Because of his injury, the old man's son was spared. The villagers said, "You are so lucky. Your son was saved." And once again, the wise man said, "Good luck, bad luck, who knows?" The Buddha looked at the young man and said, "You see, we often judge events too quickly. What seems bad today may lead to something good tomorrow. And what seems good now may not last forever." The key to peace is to trust the natural flow of life. When we stop labeling every experience as good or bad, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. Life unfolds in ways we cannot always understand in the moment. But with patience and wisdom, we see that everything happens for a reason. Patience and trust in the process. One day, a man found a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Moved by compassion, he decided to help. He carefully cut the cocoon open, allowing the butterfly to escape easily. But to his surprise, the butterfly's wings were weak and shriveled. It never gained the strength to fly. What the man didn't realize was that the struggle to break free was essential. The effort of pushing through the cocoon forces fluid into the butterfly's wings, making them strong enough for flight. By removing the struggle, he had unintentionally taken away the butterfly's ability to soar. This story teaches us an important lesson: growth takes time, and every challenge serves a purpose. In life, we often want things to happen quickly. We want immediate success, fast results, or quick healing from pain. But just like the butterfly, our struggles shape us. Difficulties build resilience, failures teach wisdom, and delays prepare us for what's ahead. If we rush the process, we may not be ready for the opportunities that come our way. Buddhism reminds us to embrace patience and trust in life's timing. When we stop resisting and allow things to unfold naturally, we develop inner strength and peace. Just as the butterfly needs time to strengthen its wings, we, too, need time to grow into the best version of ourselves. Meditation as a tool for detachment. In our fast-paced world, the mind is often restless, constantly clinging to thoughts, emotions, and external circumstances. We hold on to past regrets, worry about the future, and get entangled in daily struggles. This attachment creates suffering. However, meditation offers a powerful tool to cultivate detachment and inner peace. At its core, meditation helps calm the mind and develop awareness. When we sit in stillness, focusing on our breath or an object of meditation, we begin to notice the nature of our thoughts. We see how they arise, linger for a moment, and then fade away, just like clouds drifting across the sky. This simple observation teaches us a profound truth: everything is impermanent. No thought, no emotion, no situation lasts forever. By recognizing this, we become less attached to our experiences and more accepting of life's natural flow. One of the easiest ways to practice meditation for detachment is breath meditation. Simply sitting in a quiet place and focusing on your breath helps bring your attention to the present moment. When thoughts arise, instead of clinging to them, we gently return to the breath, learning to let go effortlessly. Another useful practice is gratitude meditation. By shifting our focus to what we already have, rather than what we lack or desire, we reduce attachment to material things, achievements, or external validation. Gratitude allows us to appreciate life as it is, rather than constantly seeking something more. Letting go of control. Life is in constant motion, much like a river that flows endlessly toward the sea. No matter how hard we try, we cannot stop the current or force the water to move in a direction it was never meant to go. Yet, many of us spend our lives clinging to control, trying to shape outcomes, resisting change, and fearing the unknown. This resistance only creates suffering. True peace comes when we learn to trust the flow of life and let go of the illusion of control. From the moment we wake up, we make countless plans and expectations for how our day, our relationships, and our future should unfold. However, reality does not always align with our desires. A job opportunity may slip away, a relationship may end unexpectedly, or unforeseen challenges may arise. When things don't go our way, frustration, anxiety, and disappointment take over. But if we take a step back, we realize that most of life is beyond our control. Clinging to control is like trying to hold water in our hands. No matter how tightly we grip, it inevitably slips through our fingers. Instead of fighting against reality, we can choose to surrender to it. This does not mean giving up or being passive, but rather accepting what is, while doing our best with what we have. It's about recognizing the difference between what we can influence and what we must simply let be. Buddhist wisdom teaches that attachment to control is one of the main sources of suffering. When we believe that our happiness depends on external circumstances being exactly as we want them to be, we set ourselves up for endless disappointment. But when we release that need for control, a profound sense of freedom emerges. A powerful way to practice letting go is through trusting life's natural flow. Imagine yourself floating in a river. If you fight against the current, you exhaust yourself, making no real progress. But if you surrender to the movement of the water, you flow effortlessly, adapting to each twist and turn with ease. Life works the same way. When we stop resisting, we open ourselves to new possibilities and unforeseen blessings. One simple exercise to cultivate this mindset is to reflect on a past event where something didn't go as planned, but later led to a better outcome. Perhaps a missed opportunity directed you toward a greater success, or a difficult ending paved the way for a fresh start. By reminding ourselves of these moments, we strengthen our ability to trust that everything happens as it should, even if we don't see it in the moment. Ultimately, letting go of control is an act of courage. It requires faith in the wisdom of life and the understanding that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. When we release our grip on how things should be, we make space for how things are meant to be. And in that space, we find peace. Compassion and forgiveness. Compassion, especially self-compassion, is one of the most powerful tools for inner peace and personal growth. However, many of us are far kinder to others than we are to ourselves. When we make mistakes, we replay them over and over in our minds, drowning in guilt and self-judgment. But guilt, when held onto for too long, does not help us grow. It only keeps us stuck in the past. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from making mistakes, but from clinging to them. Imagine carrying a heavy stone everywhere you go. Over time, it becomes exhausting. But what if you simply put it down? The same applies to guilt. Acknowledging our mistakes, learning from them, and choosing self-forgiveness allows us to move forward with wisdom rather than regret. One effective way to cultivate compassion is through loving-kindness meditation, metta meditation. This practice involves silently repeating phrases of goodwill, first toward ourselves and then toward others. For example, we can say, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be free from suffering." Then, we extend the same wishes to others. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. This simple practice helps dissolve resentment, soften our hearts, and remind us that all beings, ourselves included, deserve kindness. Forgiveness is another crucial aspect of compassion. However, forgiveness does not mean accepting harm or justifying wrongdoing. It does not mean we must continue relationships that hurt us. Instead, forgiveness is about choosing peace over resentment. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. In reality, we are the ones who suffer the most when we refuse to let go. A helpful analogy is imagining anger as a burning coal. If we hold on to it tightly, we are the ones who get burned. But if we choose to let go, we free ourselves from the pain. Forgiving does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean we have to reconcile with those who have wronged us. It simply means we are no longer willing to let their actions control our peace of mind. By practicing self-compassion and forgiveness, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We learn to see mistakes, not as permanent failures, but as lessons that help us grow. And in doing so, we create space for peace, healing, and genuine happiness. Integrating Buddhist teachings into daily life. The wisdom of Buddhism isn't just for temples or monasteries, it's meant to be lived every day. But how do we bring these teachings into our modern, fast-paced lives? The key lies in mindfulness, non-attachment, and surrendering control. Enjoying life's moments without clinging. Many of us struggle with truly enjoying life because we are either clinging to the past or worrying about the future. We grasp onto happiness, fearing it will slip away, or dwell on painful memories, unable to move forward. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from attachment, not just to material things but also to ideas, relationships, and identities. Instead of resisting life's natural changes, we can practice appreciating each moment as it comes, without trying to make it last forever. Think of a beautiful sunset. No matter how much we want it to stay, the sun will set. But instead of feeling sad, we can simply enjoy its beauty while it lasts, knowing that another sunset will come tomorrow. A practical way to do this is to remind ourselves throughout the day. This moment is precious, but it does not belong to me. I am here to experience it, not to own it. This mindset allows us to fully engage with life while maintaining a sense of inner freedom. The power of letting go, love or fear. When we struggle to let go, whether it's of a relationship, a job, or an expectation, we can ask ourselves, am I holding on to this out of love or out of fear? If it's love, we can embrace it with gratitude. But if it's fear, fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear of losing control, then perhaps it is time to let go. Life is constantly evolving, and holding on to what no longer serves us only creates suffering. Daily practices for integration. We don't need to spend hours meditating to benefit from Buddhist wisdom. Simple, consistent practices can help us cultivate peace in our daily lives. Mindfulness in daily activities. Instead of rushing through tasks, practice being fully present. Feel the warmth of water while washing dishes, truly listen when someone speaks, or notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground as you walk. Breath meditation. Taking just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath can bring clarity and calm. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, pause and take a deep breath in, then slowly release it. Surrendering control. Recognize that not everything is within your control, and that's okay. Life unfolds as it is meant to. Instead of resisting, practice saying, I trust the process of life. By applying these simple teachings, we can reduce suffering, cultivate inner peace, and move through life with grace and ease. Conclusion: a lifelong journey. Buddhism is not just something we learn, it's something we live. The practice of mindfulness, acceptance, and letting go is not about reaching a final destination but about walking the path, step by step, every single day. Progress is not always linear. Some days, you will feel at peace and light-hearted. Other days, your mind may be filled with worries, anger, or regret. What matters is not being perfect, but returning to these principles again and again. Whenever you find yourself feeling tense, trying to control things, or reacting negatively, remind yourself. Everything is part of the journey. I can start again right now. Just like a river keeps flowing, the journey of letting go and growing never truly stops. Small changes make a big difference. You don't have to change your entire life overnight. Start with small shifts. Choose mindfulness instead of letting your mind wander. Choose compassion instead of judgment, toward yourself and others. Choose acceptance instead of resisting what you cannot change. These small choices, made consistently, will lead you toward a lighter, more peaceful life. Living fully in the present. Ultimately, letting go doesn't mean escaping life, it means fully embracing each moment with gratitude and peace. If you found these lessons valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Life Lessons for more inspiring content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.